Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to start collecting Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry, and today we're going to take a look at the brand new Stormcast warband that has come out inside the Nightmare Quest box set for Warcry called the Questor Soulsworn. Now, we're going to take a look at the contents of the box set, talk a little bit about the different loadouts you can make for these models, and indeed how you can build them. It's a really cool multi-part kit that has a ton of options, and then we'll look at some other Stormcast miniatures we can use to bring in from the various other Stormcast warbands to help build upon and create some different options for us with this warband. At the end of the video, we'll show you a little sample army for you to use, hopefully as some inspiration for starting your own warband for Warcry. And so, to begin with, first of all, the Questor Soulsworn. What's really cool is you get 6 Questor Soulsworn models in this. You actually get 2 of each variation of pose, as you can see here. Once you start looking, you'll see that there's 2 variations of all the different poses here, which is cool. But they can be built in a variety of different ways. So, 6 Questor Soulsworn, 2 of them can be built up as Questor Primes, or 2 of them can be built up as Soulsworn Knight Relictors. You can also build 2 of them up as the Duelists as well, which are the 2 hand weapon wielding. You've got the options for taking Grand Hammers, Swords, Axes, and a Great Spear, a variety of different weapon options. They can pretty much build most loadouts that you would think of wanting out of this initial box, and generally all the points are pretty similar for these models, so you can really sort of go with whatever you think looks cool. But let's talk a little bit about the Questor Soulsworn. So they do have a couple of different profiles, and I think the main 2 to talk about that are really different are, of course, the Questor Prime, whose big thing is a hero, but all the models in this warband are hero. They've actually got some cool, unique rules that allow you to build them as an entire warband of heroes. But you've got the core ability, which is going to be Searing Light. You can allocate 3 damage points to all visible enemy fighters within 3 inches of this fighter with his little lantern. I think this is super powerful and really, really useful for the warband, as you are going to be lone models, so being able to do a bunch of splash damage to your opponent's red shirts is going to be super important. The Relictor, on the other hand, is your quad for the ability, and Translocation allows you to pick up a friendly model around him and effectively teleport them across the table, 4 inches away from all enemy models. Really, really nice. Now, on top of that, you've got the variety of different weapons for your other Questor Soulsworn. The Duelist is the interesting one. You've got the cool ability, Face Me, You Cowards, where enemy fighters that begin their activation within 3 inches of this fighter cannot make disengage actions or in move actions further away from them, which is really cool. But you've also got a bunch of your more heavy weapon wielding ones, so things like your Grand Hammers and your Great Swords, and all of that can use an ability called with the Force of a Thunderbolt. They only use this after they finish a move action within 1 inch of 2 or more enemy fighters, and they get to make a bonus attack. For a double, this is incredibly good. The other ones you've got for your big abilities here is you've got your generic ability, Thundering Strides, which is just some free bonus move actions, and the double, You Won't Even Slow Me Down, probably the coolest name of any of them, where a fighter can only use the ability if they've taken down an enemy with an attack action, and then they get a bonus move or bonus attack, as you effectively just start wading your way through your enemies. So while they are low in number, they definitely have a bunch of abilities that do allow them to move much quicker and do a lot more damage in a single activation. And so, where do we go to next? First of all, it's worth remembering that we probably don't want to go lower than 6 models when looking at this particular force. On top of that as well, we also want to think about what are we going to bring to this force. We definitely need a movement, we need the ability to take out multiple enemies in one turn, and some other things as well. So, we've got 4 models here that range from about 165 to 175 in points. This gives us a nice variety of different options. And the first of these is the Knight Valexer with Banner of Apotheosis. First of all, it's a Thunderstrike model, so it's going to fit in aesthetically nice with all the Questor Soulsworn, but also going to provide us with a Healing Aura ability, which is really cool. We are pretty tough with an average toughness and defense of 5, so it means most things are going to be wounding us on 5s in general, but having a bit of healing in there as well is super, super useful. Now, on top of this, we've got the Sequitur Prime with Redemption Cache. This has a very similar ability, almost exactly the same, in fact, as the Questor Prime, being able to deal 3 damage to a bunch of enemies nearby. I think this works really nice in tandem. You can either stick them together for double damage if you get, enough dice to use both these abilities, or you can stick them on 2 different parts of the battlefield, forcing your opponent to have to avoid these with their hordes, or indeed just take on one of them and probably get hit by the ability at least once. The base Knight Vexillor, on the other hand, this is the, I guess, old cast, you could call it, Knight Vexillor. It's a really interesting bring. I think this is a massive upgrade on the Lord Relictor, or the Relictor Questor Soulsworn that we get in here with their base movement ability. What's more is this is going to allow you to move multiple models around the Vexillor rather than just teleporting the one. While this isn't going to allow you to pop the model anywhere on the battlefield, it's going to provide a ton more movement to your force, which I think is going to be much more useful in the long run. The Lord Veriton, on the other hand, is a really nice sort of debuffing bring. He can actually lower your opponent's ability scores while he's around with his own core ability. And so here we have our sample warband. Now, we've gone for the Questor Prime. I think the horde killing potential of this, and also, you know, some pretty decent abilities is really nice. And then 2 errant Questor duelists with Twin Blades. I really like the Twin Blades. Their ability to call out opponents, to have opponents not be able to disengage, can be really, really useful. You can get them stuck into hordes of cheap troops with a high defense. They're not going to get touched all that bad. And they can easily just, you know, start to whip your opponent nice and easily. We then have an errant Questor with Grand Hammer. Go for the highest strength in this case. Just put all the power in. This is going to be something you're going to use to hopefully get through any big tough things like a Kurnoth Hunter or a Storm Thing that your opponent's bringing to the game. Allies-wise, we've gone for the Knight Vexillor. Like I said, I think he is just an out-and-out upgrade on the Questor Knight Relictor. So for me, just an auto-take. And the Sequitur Prime with Redemption Cache as well is a really fantastic bring into the force, allowing you to have multiple models with horde-killing potential. These can combine really nicely if you pair them up with the particular duelist you've got in your force. A jeweler with a Questor Prime and a jeweler with a Sequitur Prime with Redemption Cache can both bring in. What's cool with the Sequitur Prime as well is it still does have the Channel Shields ability, so it can become a super defensive piece as well on top of that, as it still is a Sequitur with the shield. Now this gives us a perfect 1000 renowns on the nose, 6 activations and 133 wounds for 6 models. This is amazing. With the Knight Vexillor there, he's bringing 28 wounds and 25 for the Sequitur Prime with Redemption Cache as well. They are going to be insanely hard to put down. This is a force that is just going to slog its way across the table and try to deal the damage. Meanwhile, it does have some nice little movement abilities around it. But if you've played some games with the Questor Soulsworn already, if you've got the Questor Soulsworn, you're looking to get them on the table, let us know some other Stormcast ideas you have to bring into the force, or indeed any other order pieces you want to bring in. Love to hear from everyone down in the comments below. And so that's the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel down below. And also don't forget to drop a comment down below letting us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our great little community here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server that's linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. Either by grabbing yourself some channel merch, either through our Ko-fi or Teespring stores, or by supporting us directly via Patreon and YouTube members. As a special thank you to everyone who does support the channel via Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lau, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Cure Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold, and Andy C. And to our YouTube members, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny 84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revan R, Pink Noco Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, and John Castle. And a special thanks to Lady Witchfox R and all the amazing people who do the moderation of our Discord server and groups who make everything we do possible. Thank you all so much once again for watching, for supporting the channel. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.